This is DJ 745 for World of Reggae, live and direct with my man Basie from the legendary group T.O.K. here in Leicester. Welcome.
Yo, 745, give thanks for the invitation. It's good to be here. Thank you.
So we're in January 2019. It is cold here in the UK. What brings you here from the sunshine?
You know, the Holy Temple album, it's my focus right now, and we released it November last year, so I'm on the promotional run now. I'm touching all the cities in Britain, Europe, as many interviews that I can get, and just as much exposure to the project as possible.
Well, here at World of Reggae, we like to try and do some myth busting, find out a little bit behind the man, the heart of the man, as one of the songs on your album suggests. So let's get straight into it. So you've been in the music industry for as long as I can remember, almost 25 years. Yeah. That's a long time.
Yeah, man. We started 1992 with T.O.K. So yeah, do the maths, 26 years.
But after 26 years, this is what I find really hard to say now. This is your debut album.
Yeah. No, I like to say that because, you know, it's like, it's very interesting after 26 years. But yeah, of course we did 4 albums with T.O.K, but this is the solo album. I've stepped out, we have evolved as a brand. We still do reunion concerts, but each member is doing their own thing right now for the last 2-3 years. I took my time. I actually started working on this album before the split of the group. The title track, Holy Temple, I did around 6 years ago. So I took my time and put together something that I think fully represents where I am at now, where Basie spiritually and musically is at right now.
I mean, listening through to the album myself here at World of Reggae, I kind of see like a more mature side of Basie. Yeah,
definitely. It's maturity. It's like trying to make music that is universal, that will stand the test of time. And as I explained to one of my friends, more importantly, something that can be relevant to my children, something that I can play for my children, and something that they can play for their kids. So the topics, the styles are a little outside of the conventional box of what we usually do in dancehall, but I hope the listeners like it, you know.
Well, I think certainly the response that I'm hearing across Europe is very, very positive. And to support the album, you're doing something that's kind of unique because there is a lot of videos in the making. Yeah,
so the album is 10 tracks and 10 videos, and we've shot the 10 videos. During the time of doing the album, I shot visuals all around the world. So I have visuals from, you know, the deserts of Israel to the top of the Alps to the streets of Jamaica, and what I'll do is drop a video each month, so the promotion should last at least 10 months since the release. Yeah, so we just dropped the last video, Poltergeist, this weekend, and there's more to come next month.
Okay. What was the overall inspiration behind the album? I know that you touched on making music that your children can actually listen to as well, but what was the ultimate inspiration for you?
The ultimate inspiration is really capturing inspiration while you still have life. A lot of the songs on the album, well, there's a particular song, Not Forgotten, which spoke to my journey from 6 years ago when I did Holy Temple, because there was a good friend of mine, Little Joe, that passed away right after he released his song. I produced a song. He was at the launch with Taurus Riley, Shaka Zulu, Picnic, all those songs on the Naibingi rhythm, and the next day he died. And it kind of brought home this sense of urgency to record and release whatever inspiration you get, because you don't always have the luxury of time. And even with that, I kept on delaying, and J. Capri died, and Delos died, and you know, I had family members that died, and every time it happened, it's like God just kept on talking to me like, I gave you some music, why don't you share it with the world? Don't be afraid, because it's a little different or unconventional. And I think that was what was holding me back. But once I decided that I had the package and how I wanted to do it with the videos, I really just went all out for it, and now it's here, you know what I mean? So that's a real inspiration. It's about capturing and sharing your inspiration while you have life.
I mean, the rhythm track that you're talking about, the Nyabingi, that was probably one of the first productions that we saw on your own label. Give thanks, because you put it on vinyl as well, Bomb Rush Records. Yeah. What was it like transitioning from being an artist to a producer?
Well, it's two different hats, you know. and it allows you to have a better respect for each of the other hats, you know what I mean? Because as an artist, sometimes you can be in your ego and think that you're the one that makes the record and understand the importance of the producer. And likewise, as a producer, when I became a producer, it was fun for me to see how other artists create music, and you know, I think I've even been inspired by every artist that I've worked with. So it's good to wear both hats and observe and respect the other talent that you're working with.
I mean, going back to the brand new album, Holy Temple, 10 tracks. Tell the viewers, where was this album recorded? Who did you have in terms of producers?
Yeah, so it's a mixture of different places and producers. I don't know, 3 of the tracks are personally produced at my home or between my home and Big Yard in Kingston. I'm the musician on Holy Temple. I play all the beats. I composed and brought in musicians for Not Forgotten, and My Love Away was done in Cologne with some very talented producers, Boris and Benny Bazazian. Around 2 or 3 of the tracks were done in Berlin with younger talents, Dead Rabbit, a guy called Jumper. There's also Dancehall Rulers from Mannheim. So most of the producers are between Jamaica and Germany, because as a person right now in my life, I find myself based somewhere between the Blue Mountains and Berlin. So those are the 2 main places that I got most of my work done.
And there's also a song that you worked with Frankie Music, a good friend of mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave out Frankie. Yeah, man, Run From Poverty, you know. Big up Frankie, big up all the work that he's doing over the years. Right now, I'm super hot with the Coffee Project. But yeah, he has been someone that once I went solo, he was one of the first reggae producers I reached out to and said, I'm gonna be doing some different stuff and I want something from you. And the time wasn't then, but it came around and we did this record called Run From Poverty, and it came out real nice. And he put his 100% behind it. We shot the video in Jamaica. Yeah, he's on it. There's also Heart of Men by Royal Order Music from LA, from California. Big up Iva as well. I hope I'm not leaving off anyone else. But yeah, I think that's about it. You know, Sahara Queen, Duhan from Slovakia as well. So it's a mixture of Europe, a little bit of the States, and Jamaica.
And when I listen through to the album, that probably explains why you can tell that there's a different feel or flavour to each of the tracks. So when you look at a song like Sahara Queen to, let's say, Heart of a Man, it's a different production, but it works so well as a complete package. Yeah, because I'm telling my story. I think that was a fundamental thing, you know. It's my story, and I think when an artist makes an album that is true to his self and puts the art behind that story, it normally resonates with people. I mean, when T.O.K did Footprints, we did it at a time when we had all these dancehall crossover records, and everyone at radio would have said it's impossible to come with a reggae spiritual record to urban radio. And we just sang Footprints because one of the members' brother died, and we put our heart behind it, and it became one of our biggest songs. And before that, the only crossover record on American radio was Crossroads by Bone Thugs and Harmony, and Tupac, one of the songs from Tupac. But it's not something that is regularly seen on urban radio, especially from a Jamaican artist. But we followed our heart, and it led us. We put our heart in our art, and it led to where the success was. So for me, this project was really just sharing my story. Sarah Queen is really about my wife. Heart of Men is about, you know, people around me that sometimes you don't really know what they're up to, and you have to shed yourself of some people to have a clearer vision, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's my story. Okay, Holy Temple, that's the title track, and the fact that was the first video that was released as well. Tell the viewers a little bit about where that video was actually recorded and shot.
Well, Holy Temple was the second video that was released. Run From Poverty was the first that was released. But Holy Temple was shot in I don't know how to pronounce it, Negev, with the deserts of Israel. Okay. Shot by an Israeli director who shot all the videos, Benjamin Litsky. Big up Benjamin, big up Kafir, because they really went all out on this album. And yeah, it's basically almost like me in the time of Christ, you know, walking through the desert, looking for a Holy Temple. If you listen to the words of Holy Temple, it's about searching for this spiritual place of enlightenment. But the reality is that it's me one in the video, because the Holy Temple is really inside you. So the temple that you're looking for externally, you won't find it unless you find it inside you. And it's a nice twist to it, because at the end of the video, I meet this man, this holy man at the end who comes and greets me. But it so happened that that is my father in real life. And it so happened that he came to Israel just on another spiritual journey. We didn't intend to have him in the video, and everything just aligned in such a way that it was perfect for him to play that role. And it was very special for me to have my father in my music video, coming from where I was coming from in the music, where when I started he wasn't the most supportive of me doing music, and now he's like 100% behind. Yeah, so it's kind of like a full circle, you know what I mean? And so yeah, check out the video on the Basie Vivo channel, and it was a very good vibe.
What an achievement, though, to have your own father in one of your own videos.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's a journey, you know, because it shows growth, maturity on both of our sides, you know, because for me, I wanted to prove to him that music was going to work for me. And he really believed in me getting my degree first and all that. And I'm 100% behind getting the education. But for me, it was a time of urgence. It was urgent for me to do it at 13. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And so we were knocking heads. When he saw that I was successful, we became cool, but there's also a spiritual component to it, because my spirituality is not religious based. I'm not into religion, I'm into spirituality, and he's more from a religious background. Then now he has become more open to spirituality as opposed to religion. So the song Holy Temple resonates to him more now than even what I was singing before. So it's not just like we're going a video and all that, but the spiritual journey that he was on, going to Israel, is in alignment with the record itself. So it kind of was very mystic how he ended up being in the video, and it's a great feeling and it's a timeless thing that we can share with our kids and grandkids, that this is, you know, me and my father.
I mean, the time when you with the rest of the members of T.O.K were coming through, it was kind of a different scene to how it is now. You know, we live in this very much digital age. Everything is instant, whereas back then, you guys probably didn't even have the luxury of things like the internet to promote yourselves. It was through doing stage shows and just working hard. How do you think things compare now for newer artists?
I mean, I think there are pros and cons with everything. I think back then, you had to work harder to get in the game. You had to prove yourself to get in the game, and you had to make music that would really have shelf life, you know, something that would stand the test of time. I think now people are making more disposable music. So in that regard, the amount of quality music coming out then, I think, was more than now. But the flip of it now is that because there's accessibility to most little kids, if they want to do something, it allows people to come outside of the box, to be innovative, to come with new stuff. And it allows some talent that probably wouldn't get the opportunity then, can really just upload the stuff online and get out there. I think it's more the audience that we should be more concerned about. Like, people give a lot of credence to garbage sometimes and overlook the good stuff that's coming out now in this digital space. So I mean, if you are more concerned with something that goes viral, and the reason for it going viral is just some gimmick, then you're not taking advantage of the opportunity that you have now to really find some great music that's out there. You know what I mean? You have to sift through more now than then, but there are really some gems out there now, I think.
I mean, I agree with that as well, because back in the 90s, everything was on vinyl, so you know, you got a chance to listen to everything beforehand. Nowadays, it's all about what comes into your inbox, but when you look through the quantity of music that's coming through, the quality is not there.
Right. Yeah, man, it's more quantity than quality now. Back then it was more quality than quantity. Yeah. And I think also back then there was a level of business component where someone had to invest in making a stamp or making 45s and all that. So they had to believe in the record. Now anybody can put up anything because there's not that much to invest in it, more than, you know, mix it off and put it up on SoundCloud, you know. So you don't have to put your money behind it. So it's a lot more, as I said, rubbish out there, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But going back to the album now, Holy Temple, 10 tracks in total. It's available on all digital platforms. Yeah,
man, everywhere that you can think of. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, iTunes, Amazon, you name it, it's there.
It's there. Yeah. And I know that you're going to be doing a lot of touring later on in the summer. So are you going to be over in Europe for the festivals?
Well, you know I'm a British citizen, right?
I never knew that.
Yeah, so this Brexit thing has me has me wondering what's gonna happen, if I'm gonna need a visa for the tour. I don't know, but so I'm kind of in limbo until March 29 to see what's really gonna happen regarding that. But I also want to take on the West African countries for this summer, because as you may know, this is 400 years. This is the year of return. 400 years since slavery started, and Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia, these countries are really making a big effort, a big invitation. And I'm big on that as well. So I think I want to take the opportunity to go over there, especially around the time of Marcus Garvey's birthday, August 17th, somewhere in August, and really do some concerts, really get to know the people some more and all that. So it's going to be somewhere between Europe and the motherland.
So that's another myth that we've broken. I never knew that you had a British passport. How does that work then? Yeah,
I was born here. I was born in London. I went to Jamaica when I was 3 years old, and then I grew up in Jamaica, spent 20 years in Jamaica, came back as T.O.K. So I'm 100% Jamaican by culture, by blood, by everything else, but I just happen to have a British passport, which is the best of both worlds.
Very much so. Well, we'll have to see what happens after the 29th of March. Yeah. One of the other things that I think that, you know, we quite often hear on social media, what is the situation with T.O.K? Because I know that you guys are still doing some performances, but you're just not recording together, right? Yeah, we haven't recorded any music in like 3 years. We have a lot of music in the vault that can be released at any moment. But for now, what we do is reunion concerts. When we get the right gig and it's the right energy, the right billing, everything it feels right, we do concerts. So we do a lot of that in Latin America. Some markets that never got to see T.O.K, they call and we reunite and go out and rock it and then come off. And when we do those concerts, we do the hits for T.O.K, and then we also have a segment where each member showcases their solo stuff. So it's a good balance. I always tell people, you know, T.O.K is like, you know, you have 4 kids that come together and buy this house, you know what I mean, and everybody has their own room. And then as you grow older now, you get your girlfriend, you get married now, you want to move out of that house and have your own house, but you don't need to tear down the family house too. You know what I mean? So it's like T.O.K is like the root, but we're all branching out and doing our own things and reaping the fruits of those benefits, you know. That's really good to hear, because, you know, I mean, what you guys did back in the 90s and 2000s, I don't think anyone else can touch what you guys did ever. And it's really good that you guys are still working together on these reunion concerts, because the people want to hear you guys together as well. Yeah, I think you have a moral responsibility, a moral obligation. I mean, I think if God gives you inspiration and bless you with hits, as long as you have energy and have a good voice, you should go out there and rock it, you know what I mean? You shouldn't let any disagreements come in between that, because this is more than you. The music is more than you. The music is for everybody, and you're just a vessel. So as long as you have your legs and your health and you have your voice and you don't have any clashes like with your personal or your other projects, you go out there and rock it, you know what I mean? That's what I believe, yeah. Cool. Well, look, basically, it's been great talking to you today, hearing about this brand new album that was released on the 18th of November 2018. We're going to see some growth into 2019 as well. Is there any plans for a physical release? Because there are still people out there like myself that like the vinyl or the CDs. Yeah, I must apologize. I missed the deadline for the Christmas. We wanted to put out some CDs and vinyl for Christmas, so I'm going to come with it for summer, and I'm going to be tying it in with my tours. So I'll either have them as merchandise or have them for sale at special locations, probably online or at certain shops. I'm still figuring out that part of it, but definitely we'll have CDs and vinyls, LP, and even probably some of the singles on 7-inch as well. Okay. And obviously over the next few months we've got lots more videos to look out for as well. Yeah, and of course you've got your own website as well. The address is just going across the bar at the moment, but just tell the viewers what the website address is. Yeah, man, basicmusic.com, you know what I mean? Log on, get involved, join the movement, you know what I mean? Also, I'm looking for feedback from people, so go on my Instagram page, Bassy Music, and let me know which video you want me to drop next. I've dropped Run From Poverty, Holy Temple, and Poltergeist so far, so there's 7 more to go. You let me know. Some people say Love Potion. I get a lot of good feedback for that. Some people want the different records like My Love Away, so you let me know what you want and I'll drop it next month. Hearing it live and direct from Bassy here in Leicester, we give thanks for your time today. A message to all the people. Yeah, man, live in love, live in harmony, enjoy music, enjoy today like it's your last, and show your brother and your sister love. That's all it is. Bassy, one love. Yeah, man. Blessed love. Big up.